Do you dream of early retirement, receiving passive income each month from your rental properties? Make that dream a reality by investing with a team that has helped thousands of investors achieve early retirement through real estate investing. Rent to Retirement offers fully turnkey properties that are newly built or renovated, leased, and professionally managed, allowing you to invest with confidence out of state. They have single-family, multifamily, new build, and syndication opportunities across multiple markets. Rent to Retirement assists investors in learning how to build a comprehensive business plan with the best investment and tax strategies to achieve financial freedom through real estate investing. There's no excuse not to get started in real estate investing when you have the right team and systems already in place. To learn more, visit renttoretirement.com/daily. That's renttoretirement.com/daily. Or call 800-311-6781. That's 800-311-6781 to learn more about how you can get started investing in some of the best cash flow markets today. This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2258. Only the poor or super rich say money can't buy happiness, by Sam of FinancialSamurai.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Thank you so much for joining today and every day. This is the podcast that brings you some of the world's best content covering personal finance 7 days a week, including holidays. So let's jump into another post as we start optimizing your life. Only the poor or super rich say money can't buy happiness, by Sam of FinancialSamurai.com. Whoever said money can't buy happiness is either poor or wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. The incessant amount of studies by researchers trying to prove money can't buy happiness is simply a result of the researchers' own poverty or unhappiness. Because they're financially mediocre, it seems researchers are trying to console themselves that it's okay not being wealthy. Sounds harsh, I know. But we can't truly know how rich we can feel until we're actually making a lot of money. Otherwise, we're just pontificating. Generally, researchers have a higher sense of self because they have more educational training. Hence, it tears them up when they see other lesser beings make more than them. Meanwhile, those who continue to highlight research stating that money can't buy happiness are trying to justify their own financially unspectacular selves as well. The poor and financially mediocre are in cahoots. You see, the financially mediocre are all in cahoots with each other. They've banded together to proclaim that being middle-class regular people is good enough. It probably is good enough for most people, but not for these unsatisfied folks who think they're smarter and better than everyone else. If being middle-class or amongst the poor was good enough, then they'd leave well enough alone and be happy with their financial mediocrity. It's a hard pill to swallow, but swallow they must. Not everyone can make multiple six figures, live in million-dollar homes, and pay cash for luxury automobiles. That's just life, and they're trying to bring you down. Don't let them. The tricky rich. On the flip side, you have the super rich who also say money can't buy happiness. They've got all the luxury in the world, with not an ounce of financial worry. Even millionaires can't resist free. But it must be nice to figure out what to splurge on and never having to budget during Christmas season. Meanwhile, the poor are just trying to get food on the table. It must be nice going to $1,000 a head charity galas and paying $200 for front row seats to watch a great concert. These types of people need to fight for the poor. Otherwise, they'll be deemed as greedy birds. The guilt factor the super rich have is enough to say statements such as, "The rich aren't paying their fair share of taxes." Even if you slapped a 99% marginal income tax rate on Warren Buffett, he'll still make more than 99% of the world. Of course, it's okay to raise taxes when you have so much wealth. The super rich will lecture us to stop focusing so much on money and just follow our dreams. Don't listen to them for one bit. They're just trying to win you over and pretend to be like one of you. Definitely happier with more money. I don't know about you, but I'm very happy making more than I did 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was worried whether I could afford getting dessert for two on a date. Now, the cost of a 7-layer cake for $8.99 doesn't even cross my mind. only the 5 miles I'll have to run tomorrow instead. 20 years ago, I used to stress more at work because if I ever got fired, my safety net was as thick as a sheet of wet Kleenex. 10 years later, I was focused on all the good things at work and didn't worry about FaceTime issues and workplace politics. Today, as a fake retiree who hasn't had a job since 2012, I don't worry too much about money at all. The bull market since I left work in 2012 has been so good. My passive investment income now generates enough to take care of my family of 5. 20 years ago, I would have never been able to consciously buy 2 round-trip tickets the day before to celebrate Valentine's week in Hawaii. Now I'm excited to go on more last-minute adventures because experiences are what matter most. In fact, I just purchased 2 round-trip first-class tickets for my parents to come visit us this Thanksgiving. They haven't visited for almost 3 years due to COVID. Having more money has definitely made me happier because I can afford more conveniences. Those with money don't worry about money because they have it. The reason why money buys happiness is because once you have money, you don't worry about money anymore. All the stress that comes with a lack of money melts away. You're not pissed at your friends for shortchanging the pot during a group meal outing. You don't care if you get a flat tire and have to spend $350 to replace just one. You're just not worried anymore, and that feels fantastic. Money also allows you to buy fantastic memories. Most would agree that your happiest moments are spent with loved ones and friends. If you have money to travel and be with those you care about, is that not happiness production? It absolutely is. What about all the fun times you had taking salsa lessons or playing tennis at the club? Not a cheap endeavor, but so fun and made possible by money. I got a stupid $110 parking ticket the other day as I was dropping my family off at the Science Museum. I was gone for just 5 minutes. In the past, I would have been pissed. Now I think to myself, whatever. On November 10th, 2018, I had to take my son to the ER because he was vomiting due to some virus. The ER visit cost a $100 copay. I was glad to easily pay it to get access to treatment. Another example of how money reduces stress in an already stressful situation. Money does buy happiness, especially if you're poor. When people start telling you money can't buy happiness, take a good look at their finances. They're likely telling you this because they don't have much money themselves. They haven't tasted the freedom money buys. And if they so happen to be research PhDs, well, you can forget about their advice right there. If they're super rich, then you know they're just trying to blend in and not look selfish. If you want to make more and be happier, I encourage you to at least follow my average net worth by age guide. This way you can outperform the average person and use your money to buy more experiences, things, and happiness. At the end of the day, money is relative, and the more money you can earn and accumulate, the happier you'll likely be. You just listened to the post titled, "Only the Poor or Super Rich Say Money Can't Buy Happiness" by Sam of financialsamurai.com. In my humble opinion, I think the debate around if money can buy happiness is a bit more nuanced than the article today has presented. If you could reliably buy happiness and contentment, I think we'd see much less depression among the rich. Money certainly makes life easier, but some would argue that an easy life can make you mentally weak and less resilient, that some challenge is necessary for fulfillment. Not being stressed about making ends meet is not the same as happiness and contentment. And just because you have money doesn't mean that you don't worry about money anymore. I know many people that have way more money than I do, and yet they have never experienced the emotional benefits of having enough money, and they won't allow themselves to take any risks. I think when people say that money can't buy happiness, what they really mean is that the best things in life are free. Close relationships, community, purpose, your health, the way you use your time. Oftentimes we elevate the pursuit of wealth over our relationships and health, for instance, and can be disappointed by the result. Money is just a tool. It all boils down to how you use it. You can use a tool like a hammer to build a house or smash your own finger. But glorifying the hammer feels a little simplistic in my opinion. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back in just a second with our weekly bonus episode. So I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.